Hello, foodie fans. Welcome to the Big Food Talk, produced by Tough Monkey Entertainment. I'm your host, Sal Conca. This show supports restaurants, chefs, and food pioneers with your help. Head to bigfoodtalk.com to make your donation today, or check out our fun apparel line with proceeds going directly to participating restaurants. Special thanks to the Long Island Food Council, Dine LI Facebook group, and Yelp Long Island for supporting this episode. Calling all wine lovers for this special episode of the Big Food Talk. Whether you're a wine connoisseur or new to tasting wines, a wine club can be a great way to expand your knowledge and try new things. Listen in to hear from the founders and experts at wineclubgroup.com as they tell us how their website can help you find the perfect wine club no matter your taste, budget, or location. Welcome to the Big Food Talk. I'm so excited to have actual friends of mine that I've known for years on the show, and you guys run an amazing website called wineclubgroup.com. So tell me about it. How did you guys start this? Why did you start this?
Oh, Todd pointed, so I guess I'll take over on this one. Hey, Sal, good to see you.
Yeah.
Hey, friends, good to see you again. I'm glad we're not drinking too much wine and eating nasty candy corn on this call like we did last time. So wineclubgroup.com, Todd, Tricia, and I have been friends for a while. We met in the internet marketing industry and wanted to build a website that we had some interest in, but really we're using it just to learn more about internet marketing and such. We talked to some other friends who recommended that we look at wine clubs. We did. It looked like a good industry to get into. And then we started learning a ton about wine clubs. And that allowed us to build out our site, wineclubgroup.com.
Very cool. So who is the wine drinker in the group? Are all three of you equally wine drinkers in this group?
We're different type of wine drinkers. Todd's the serious wine drinker. I'm the volume wine drinker.
We used to be all, I think we all like to enjoy our wine, right? And then after a while, Eric kind of like, no, I'm more athletic and I don't want to drink anymore and I can't. It interrupts with my programs and he's, and he's very healthy and I am not. And so then he doesn't drink that anymore. And now here it is. Tricia and I still drink a little bit. And we did some, actually I brought some out just for this call from a wine club, just to, show it. But we did a tasting the other day with candy corn and wine, pairing it. Kind of a silly thing that we did on the video. But I think that was probably the last time that Eric's drank wine and the first time in a long time since, right?
Yeah, probably the first time this year. But the thing is with us and our website and the knowledge that we bring, it's not always about the wine because the wine changes with wine clubs every month. So we know generally, if you say, hey, Eric, I'm having this for dinner, what can I, what would you pull out of your basement or wine cellar? I could say, go for this or that. And I think we can all do that. But when we talk about wine clubs, we talk about everything around it. We talk about how is the wine shipped? How easy is it to send a gift? What does a gift look like? Is a gift a card or is it, are you actually sending a shipment? Are you picking the wines for that person? And the supplemental material, which I'm sure we're going to be talking about in a bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's talk about some of the basics of this wine club. Like what really goes into a wine club? What are the benefits? Why should I be interested in a wine club?
Can I take it? So wine clubs, they vary a little bit depending on the type of club that you join. So you may go to a local winery where you join the club specifically for that winery and you're only getting wine every single month or quarter, whatever, from that winery. So you're going to have less of a selection, but it's going to be, wine that you probably tasted locally because you visited that winery. The wine clubs that we work with primarily are the ones that are online. And so those different wine clubs, you're joining them initially. And if you're joining as a subscription or even giving like a gift subscription, you're getting an initial package that has some number of bottles of wine, a set number of bottles of wine that you're going to get at the intervals that you determine and at the quality level that you're willing to pay for. So there's a wide variety there. But a lot of times in that first shipment, you might get like a gift with a purchase, some kind of special wine cork or something. Then you also are going to get in every shipment information about that wine. And I think that's one of the best things about wine clubs is that you're not just getting a bottle of wine. Anybody can buy a bottle of wine, but then you're trying to figure out, like, are you Googling, what does this wine pair with and what could I eat with it? And how long am I supposed to keep this wine? They pretty much take all of that guesswork out for you. So you get, with that bottle of wine, they're going to say, this wine is best enjoyed within a year because it's a cheap white wine. This bottle should probably be kept 3 to 5 years because it's a nice red wine. It should be stored this way. This is the type of food. They might even give you a recipe and say, this is the ideal food to eat with this wine. So you're just getting you're getting, in addition to like the gifts that they give you to kind of hook you into the club, you're getting this ongoing information, which is like, as Eric mentioned before, how we've learned so much.
It seems like you're really getting more of an experience, right? So you're not just buying a bottle.
Mm-hmm. It is an experience. And I was trying to think this morning, in coming on this podcast and thinking, I'm not a foodie. I'm not a person that considers myself a foodie, but I love food and I love trying all foods. And the best that I could compare it to in my head is that when I go to different cities or different countries, my choice of activities are food tours. Because I want somebody there to show me what those people eat. I want to know all about the different foods and I want a little bit of different things to try it out and figure out what I like. And the wine clubs are very much like that. It's, I know I really like white wines or I know I really like red wines, but that's as much as I know. So give me some different types of each. Give me a little education about each. And then when I walk away from that, I've now learned something new about what I like.
Very cool. Yeah, I think, so I've told this story before on the show. So my wife and I, we like to drink wine on Friday night date nights, especially since COVID. And so we're always tasting and testing different things, but it's hard to figure out. We go into the liquor store, we end up buying what we know most of the time because we don't want to get screwed with something we don't know, kind of thing. And so it's always that ongoing thing. Now, she never drank wine before she met me. She never had wine, drank alcohol actually, period, before she met me. So I've really converted her. So in terms of like wine clubs, is it for people who are novices? What if you're really a sophisticated wine drinker? Is a wine club something you'd really want to go for too? Who's really the customer here?
So that's actually one of the things I love about this, is exactly what you're talking about. If you know that you like maybe dry red wine, like I know I like dry red wine, right? I know I like Cabernet. I've had a lot of good experiences drinking Cabernet. But I didn't realize until after getting involved in some wine clubs that I also like Malbecs. And I actually do like some Merlots, right? And it turns out maybe I do like this Viognier that I've never actually even considered, right? And so I like it because I can get exactly what I want. I know I'm going to get what I want. It's going to be about the same price I expect, maybe from the same regions that I expect, or I can kind of expand out and learn from different regions and try different wines and maybe level up some of the price per bottle, prices, and find out, oh, wow, there's some massive differences, or there's maybe not so big difference. It's all about learning and growing. And so you kind of get best of both worlds, know exactly what you want and get what you want and expand as well.
Sure. So what types of clubs are there based on like price? How does it, what is the range that somebody's looking to invest in for a wine club?
Yeah, I would say, you could probably get a 2-bottle club for maybe 35 to 40 a month plus shipping. So you definitely pay more per bottle through a wine club. Well, I wouldn't say definitely. A lot of the time you're paying more, but they're handling that selection. They're giving you that additional information. And you're also kind of paying just to have someone else make a decision for you, which is huge these days, right? I mean, we're all business owners. We know that there's only so many decisions we can make during the day. So it's nice just for someone to say, here, drink this. And you're like, oh, well, what is this? What am I going to make with it? Oh, here's the recipe to make with it too. So you do pay a little bit more. You can go up to, maybe Todd would know, because I know he focuses on our high-end clubs, what the highest is.
It depends. You're right. Anywhere between $35 to $100 a shipment. And it's all about what kind of wines you want. You're right. So in terms of our mass normal market, normally people are expecting about $35 to $40 per shipment. If you want to get 3 months as a gift, oftentimes that's what we'll see. It's under $150. You can get a good gift for somebody. They're going to get for 3 months. 1 month after 1 month after 1 month. 3 different experiences, 3 different shipments of really good wine for under $150. That's a really good gift. So
yeah, as a gift, that's probably the most popular one, is coming in, like Todd said, with 2 bottles per month. And even for a self drinker, 2 to 3 bottles a month is a good shipment to be receiving. And you can keep that going forever. You can skip a shipment if you want. Maybe you fall behind because in the summertime you start picking up on craft beers or something like that. You can pause your membership and pick it up in the fall again, or whatever you'd like. But you can also go bigger. There's some clubs where there's case clubs where here's a case of wine every 3 months. And boy, UPS loves delivering those to my house. As they walk up the driveway and you hear the bottles clanking and everything in there, they know.
So you're also a volume drinker like Tricia.
I'm a volume receiver of the wine. And you definitely do get what you pay for. You can do a 2-bottle club at the $35 to $40 level, and that's a good club. It's good wine, great information. But if you know your wine, you might want to go up to like $80 club, I think is one of the highest ones. And that's 2 bottles a month as well.
So who's doing these clubs? Are they wineries that are doing these clubs? Do they make the wine too? Like Tricia mentioned, like local wineries that are doing clubs. Like who are the brands behind these clubs? Like where do you get this? Who are you subscribing to?
It really varies a lot. One club that I am a member of, it's more of a consumer restaurant-based club. I think they call themselves the biggest wine club in the United States because they own restaurants. So they do make and bottle their own wine, and then they sell it in their restaurants. And then, so you're kind of getting the same wines repeatedly because they only have so many wines, then like one wine of the month. So in that case, that's a club where it's a restaurant that's making and bottling their own. The ones that we tend to work with are more either if it's a volume club, if it's something like you mentioned where you might be giving a case of wine for $70. So that's 12 bottles of wine for, $70, sometimes marked down $60 and free shipping. That's not a really high quality wine. You're looking more at decent wines at a volume at a label that you've never heard of. So all of this stuff is just white labeled wine. You'll never be able to figure out where it came from or who made it. It's just whether you like it or not.
And a lot of that is, Sal, to answer your question, but put on by marketing companies. So like the NPR Wine Club or the Todd, what was that one that you did, the rock and roll one?
Yeah, the Virgin Wines, Virgin.
Yeah,
rock and roll. Yeah.
You'll see a lot of the big cases that are giving you that cheaper wine are all about the label.
But
makes sense.
One of my favorites is California Wine Club. We've worked with them since the very beginning, and we've all kind of joined different clubs at different times with them. And they work with small wineries. So their whole goal is to go out to these different artisanal wineries all around the world. And then they go and personally sample the wine from all these different places. And so they buy them in, kind of smaller chunks. So they're helping these smaller wineries, especially, at a time where maybe they need some volume, like maybe they're not selling as much now in their local restaurants. So they're looking for somebody like California Wine Club to come in and buy up 100 cases of their wine to use for the club for that month. And so they, you get these bottles and it's a one-shot deal. Like they sell it 1 month and then it runs out because they're working with these small wineries. So, it's a way to just try a lot of different things from different places.
Very cool. Yeah. I mean, that's right up my alley. Obviously, I love food. I love trying new things all the time. So, and I'm surprised, I guess I was close. I was going to sign up for, I think, like Wink when COVID kind of first started. And then I don't know, somehow I just never got around to doing it. So it sounds like for the holidays, I definitely need to get on this and get involved in a wine club. I'd love to hear from each of you, which one is your favorite wine club to join right now?
Well, I'll throw out my ones. I have a couple of them, but there's one from California Wine Club. It's called the Aged Cabernet Club. It's a bit on the higher end, and it's a very nice one. The Cabernets you're going to get are big, bold. They're like event wines. You know, you bring them out for an event. It's not just any day of the week. You know, you're bringing out a very nice bottle of wine. So they have some really good wines that the Aged Cabernet Club, and there's a couple other ones, but I'll let you guys say this.
You know, I like the process of joining First Leaf Wine Club, because it can be overwhelming to join a wine club, and First Leaf walks you through this process, and like, do you like chocolate? I'm like, yes, you know, the more bitter, the better. And it gives you a sliding scale. How do you drink your coffee? You know, black as night. And it allows you to choose, you know, do you like this flavor, that flavor? And then it'll come up with a recommended wine club for you. So I like First Leaf with that. And then also, as you receive your shipment, you can come back and say, oh, I like this one, or I didn't like this one. And it keeps tweaking it for you. But still, you know, instead of just throwing all different wines at you to see which one sticks, it kind of narrows your view a little bit. So, you know, Sale, maybe that one's not the best for you if you want to, you know, look to expand. But if someone knows that, like, you know, some people hate dry reds, and if you said that with First Leaf, you're not going to receive one.
Got it. Interesting. That sounds great, actually. I like that they're personalizing the experience for you. And that would be probably great for somebody like my wife, who she doesn't really know what she likes sometimes. So for her, putting in a flavor profile that meets her expectations, we might get some that she really likes. And how about you, Tricia? What's your faves?
My very favorite, just for me personally, is the California Wine Club Pacific Northwest Club. And that's just because personally, I prefer Pinot Grigio and Pinot Noir. And that's what they produce in Washington and Oregon predominantly. So every single shipment that I'm getting, I do white and red. And so I know that I'm getting something like a Pinot Noir and something like a Pinot Grigio. You know, but in terms of gift giving, that's a really specific one. So like, that's something that you got to know that that's what you like and that's what you subscribe. So I wouldn't give that one as a gift to someone because you don't know that they necessarily really like those.
Sure. That makes sense. And so talking about gifting, how do shipping laws play into this? I'm in New York. You guys are, Eric, you're upstate. Todd, you're in the Midwest. Well, I don't know. We can't call it the Midwest, right? And Tricia, I forget where you're at, but Indiana, there you go. So everybody's all over. Can we all get the same things and clubs shipped to us, or are there restrictions around this stuff?
No, there are lots of restrictions and it's very complicated. As the resident attorney of the group, it kind of falls to me to be the one that figures this kind of stuff out. Shipping laws for alcohol are some of the strictest things in the United States. I mean, you can literally be prosecuted for sending alcohol to the wrong state. So one of the very best things about wine clubs and about what we're able to help people do on our site is we work with the wine clubs to figure out where they ship, because every club ships somewhere different, because they have to go to every single state, look at what that state law is, and in a lot of cases work with common carriers in different ways. So in Indiana, they might have to be working with a local wine seller. They then make a deal with them to ship it to them, and then they deliver it to me. You don't want to have to mess with that. If you're ordering for yourself or you're sending a gift, you don't want to have to be the person trying to figure out if it's okay to send it somewhere or if you're going to get in trouble. So we rely on the wine clubs to do the heavy lifting. They know the laws, they work out those agreements. And then we work with the wine clubs to index all the wine clubs on our site, so that when you come there, you can just say, I want to send wine to Indiana. And we say, okay, here's the 6 clubs that you can choose from. And every state page you go to on our site is going to look different, because every state has different rules.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
And on that, you know, if you're sending you want to send a wine club as a gift to someone in, I don't know, Virginia, let's say. If you sent them a gift card or a gift certificate, that club might not even be able to ship to Virginia. So that's why, you know, using our website, there's a nice state map. You can click around. You can say, okay, I'm sending a gift to Florida, Virginia, wherever. And then we show you the clubs that can actually ship there. So sure, you can buy a gift certificate, but if the person can't redeem it, it does them no good. So that's definitely something to keep in mind when you're sending a gift.
That sounds like a great tool you guys built. So yeah, I can go right there, say if I'm shipping something to a friend in Chicago, or if I'm sending something to myself in New York, I can know exactly which clubs match which state and deliverability. What other resources do you have on the site to help people like wade through how to pick a club? What other type of resources and guides do you guys provide?
I'd like to also point out that on those shop by state page, if you're looking to ship to Michigan, for instance, these are our favorite wine of the month clubs in ranking order for you, so to the best. And similarly, if you know exactly what type of wine you're interested in, I like red wines. We have a very good resource guide for top red wines. If you really want bold red wines, this is the page you want to go to find the best red wines. And of course, then from there, go to the shipping process. Similarly, for other types of palettes, we got those as well covered.
Yeah, and then other resources, I think an important one coming up is, when's the last day I can order a wine club for it to be received as a gift? So, and it depends what your definition of sending a wine club as a gift. We see people that will, obviously, maybe in 2 weeks, they'll order a wine club and have it shipped before Christmas, right? And that works great. We see quite a few sales Christmas morning. And I just picture the family pulls into the in-laws driveway, and she looks at the husband and says, you have the gift, right? And he just pulls out his phone and sends an e-gift card and hits send. Okay, yep, it's sent. So there's different ways to, that last minute shipping kind of is a great resource, and it varies based on how, what you consider to be a delivered gift.
Sure. That's great. That's great info. And so with the holidays right around the corner, do you guys have special offers or exclusives to your website and club through the different wine clubs? So how does that work?
We're wading through some of them now to bring up the best deals. And then also we're looking at it some of them are buy 3 months, get one free. Other ones are free shipping. All right, well, what's the best deal out of that? So we go through, we actually put the items in our cart, apply the coupon code, see what the final price is to give you, what the best deal is. We are talking with clubs to negotiate, exclusive deals and everything, and they'll be right on our page.
Awesome. And so do you have an email list for people to go join so they can get these offers via email or some other way that they can figure it out?
I'll send that to Tricia.
Technically, we have an email list, but one of the things about our site is that, once people buy wine clubs, it's not like they're coming back a lot. So once someone buys a wine club, they don't want us emailing them every month about other wine clubs, because once you find a club you like, most people tend to stay with it for a long time. So really, it's more about watching our social media, because that's where we're always posting. We're posting our deals. We're posting our fun things like, candy corn and wine pairings, or Halloween candy and wine, or things like that. So we're posting the fun wine stuff, but then we're also saying, hey, by the way, this is the last shipping day for this club. This is the deal for this club. So our social media is really the way to go to follow us.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely connect with you guys all over social. Any last minute questions that I missed that people should know about wine clubs that we didn't cover today?
They make really fancy gifts. That's the one thing that I will say. And no one ever knows how much they cost. So when you're trying to figure out a gift to send to somebody and you're thinking, oh, I could send them a $50 Amazon gift card, or I could send them this wine club, and they have no idea if it costs $30 or if it costs $100. So they just make really nice gifts because no one actually knows how much a wine club costs.
And at the end of the day, it's way better than the Jelly of the Month club, right?
It is the gift that keeps on giving, though.
That's right.
I'm just going to add that, Sal, you mentioned it. When you join a wine club, it's an experience. And the wine that you're drinking, I always think that, when I think back at some of my favorite bottles of wine, it's not about the wine or even the food. It's about the experience, the people that I'm having it with. I had a great bottle of wine with these two guys a couple of weeks ago. And I mean, the food that we were having, it was the Thanksgiving dinner candy corn. It was absolutely disgusting. But the bottle of wine was so good, but I think it's because we were just having such a good time with it. Just laughing the entire night through. So it might not be the very best wine, but it is a great experience. And when you build that great experience, it just builds up, the entire value that you're getting for it.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining me today on the Big Food Talk. I hope everybody goes and checks out wineclubgroup.com. Sign up for a wine club. I know I'm going to. I'm definitely going to check out the site right after we hang up and see if I can figure out something for the holidays for myself and the family.
Great. Thanks, Al.
Thanks for tuning in to the Big Food Talk, produced by Tough Monkey Entertainment. Subscribe on iTunes and wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram for behind-the-scenes takes, or watch complete episodes on YouTube. Don't forget to make a donation at bigfoodtalk.com.